Party people back together. The team is here. What is up? Happy Monday, everybody. I see the weather wizard is back in the house.
Yes, sir.
How was your vacation?
Man, I wish I was still there. Had a big old beautiful cabin there in northern Georgia. I didn't have to do anything but wake up, go outside with a cup of coffee, look at nature, go back in, get another cup of coffee. Can't even say it now.
Because you don't want to be here.
I'm still coffee drunk.
So who'd you take with you?
My wife and kids.
Did you take the little dog?
I took little Fritz. Yeah, little fat Fritz. Had to watch out for a bear, though. Yeah, man, the first night I put trash out, like in the middle of the night, I heard this big crash because the people who own the cabin, apparently they are not used to bears there, I guess. And they just had big rocks on top of their plastic trash cans. That doesn't stop a bear.
Are you sure it was a bear?
I'm not sure it was a bear.
Or was it a trash panda?
It might have been both.
Did it sound big or small?
Well, I do know this, that when I went out, took Fritz out the next morning, that bag of trash that I put out was halfway up the hill behind the cabin.
It feels very trash panda.
Yeah, it's very trash panda.
If you guys know what a trash panda's a raccoon. They work in unison. They're very much a crazy group of little fellas. They got thumbs, and so they use them.
That could have been the case. However, the maintenance guy had to come out because we couldn't figure out the TV remote. That's another story.
See, this is the beauty of vacation like we take when you get older.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still had cable TV.
You go somewhere and you're like, do you guys have cable? Like, what? No, I don't think you understand. I want to do what I normally do without doing work, and I want to do it in somebody else's house.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I did. But the guy that came out to help me with the remote says, he said there's bears all over up here. In fact, he said, I've got a cousin who he hunts bear, and he killed a 500-pounder just last fall.
Wow, that's a big-ass bear.
Yeah, that's a big old black bear there.
That's a big-ass bear. I mean, you guys got to watch out for that one.
Yeah.
Like, that bear, you weren't here for the one that was in people's backyards, but apparently he's dead now.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, he was the one that they spotted in Bethpage back on May 26th. And then last night, apparently got hit by a car there. Let's see, what? It's in Gallatin. Got hit by a car and they found him on the side of Vietnam veterans there in Sumner County. A 190-pound yearling. They think he may have been close to 2 years old. They're not for sure.
Now, did RFK Jr. do anything with it? Did he pick it up and decide, oh, God, guys, I got to go to the airport. Hey, I'm going to go dump this bear out I have in the back of my car because I always stop and pick up dead bear because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's really funny, and me and my friends, we like putting them in the trunk and driving them around.
It's so bizarre. So there we had that, and then the, which I think is hilarious, the zebra.
Yeah, the zebra.
So, by the way, zebras are not friendly.
No.
And the reason is simple. Through hundreds and thousands of years of breeding, they have learned that there are things that want to kill and eat them.
Yeah.
And so by nature, they're a skittish group because they are prey compared to like a donkey, right? Or something like that. It'll fight you. Horses and stuff, they got some prey, but not like zebras. Zebras got hippos and alligators and crocodiles and, oh my.
And
all
other
the stuff.
zebras.
Yeah, they're zebras. And they're in Nashville.
Yeah, there's a zebra running around Rutherford County right now.
Oh, man.
Just running around out there.
That is hilarious. I wonder where it's, I wonder if, this is what you think. What if that thing gets hit?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Well, that'll total a car.
What would a zebra cost? Let's see. I go to my buddy's site. He can get me just about anything you ever wanted. Let's see what a zebra would cost today if you can get one. About 10 grand.
10 grand for a zebra.
Yeah, 11,000 for a yearling. You can get some smaller ones. Here's a 4-month-old for about 5 G's.
Like a miniature zebra?
Yeah, it's a baby. It's only 10 months old.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I can get you anything you want. Trust me. You guys don't want to know, so settle down.
So get this, dude. Zebras can attack people using their strong teeth, sharp hooves, and powerful kicks.
As you do. Sounds like me.
So apparently their hooves can cut you.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's they're no joke. I mean, because if you think about it, they're up against it every day. Their goal is to go from one place to another. They start with 1,000 and end with 975. Like, that was a good trip.
Yeah.
Right. And they're just going to the next watering hole, of which the next watering hole, you may or may not go down for that water and come back up.
Right. Either a hippo will drag you in or a big crocodile.
Yeah. And so then you're dealing in between with all of the other things that want to eat you out in the plains. So, and now you're worried that, Keith Urban may hit you.
Get this. In Ohio, a man was bitten by a zebra on his arm and had to be hospitalized.
Yeah.
In Seymour, Tennessee, multiple individuals were bitten by a zebra, with one woman reporting being slammed to the ground.
Those are not good.
So apparently zebras have a history here in the volunteer state.
They do. Well, I mean, because they're kind of equine. So there's a lot of things you can and can't have here. It's always, there's some stuff you're surprised, Like, there's some states where they don't care. Like Oklahoma, you're like, we don't care.
No.
Ohio, go ahead, knock yourself out.
So, dude, that man in Ohio, he lost his arm.
Oh, did he? Man, that's a story, right? What happened to your arm, Jim? Diabetes? You're like, zebra.
Zebra bit me.
My grandma lost her legs because of diabetes, and I used to tell her all the time, just tell everybody you got bit by a shark. The stories are fantastic.
Yeah, might as well.
Right. Like, who cares? Who's going to know? Well, nowadays you can do Google search, but nobody does, right? Nobody ever does a Google search to find. We can't, nobody does. Oh, you weren't even here last week for the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, but I saw it.
The Grizzlies.
What's that about?
That's called access buying of some sort. I mean, why them?
Yeah, exactly.
We were wrongly accused. Really? You stole $30 million. It's been upheld twice.
Yeah, apparently I saw they're leaving Nashville.
Oh, where are they going?
I don't know. I saw some where they're not going to be staying in Nashville.
So, geez, I wonder. Well, I mean, I don't think they have any money left. And you know what I hear? They can sue.
Really?
They can sue for all the money there's just all kinds of. It's what a nightmare. Like, what are you doing pardoning them? You want to throw that in at 11:59 at the end of the year? Go ahead. But why? And then he was asked about Diddy.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did not see it, but I saw lots of
he was
alerts
asked
on my
about
phone.
would he pardon Diddy. He goes, I'd have to look at the case. No, you wouldn't, dude. Here's the case, bro, okay? If you pardon Diddy and he's convicted of even a tenth of what he has been accused of.
Yeah.
If you pardon him, good luck with the base sticking around.
Yeah. Mr. President, have you seen the hotel footage?
That's enough.
That right there.
Yeah. And that, by the way, none of that is about this case. None of that. But
exactly.
If you were to pardon Diddy, I wouldn't even know. At that point in time, I just tell my wife, I'll work hard for the next 3 years for any Democrat out there at that point in time, if that's what you're going to do.
Well, I saw
that's going to run against the Republicans.
Well, and I saw a blurb where apparently 50 Cent is like wanting to speak to the president to say, do not pardon Diddy.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Yeah. God, and that's, who's been bringing that up? Because for whatever reason, Suge Knight is on Chris Cuomo's show like twice a week from jail. The guy that held Vanilla Ice out of like the 10th-story window in Los Angeles so he could get him to sign the Ice Ice Baby over to him. Wow. That guy is like, oh, yeah, he's going to pardon him. No, he wouldn't. He would not.
Surely he's not going to, man.
Could you imagine what that would do? I mean, he commuted Larry Hoover's sentence last week, who was one of the biggest gangsters of all time. He did movies about him. And they commuted his. And I was telling Belle, this is how bad this guy was. When he was in prison, they made the people that visited him after a while wear microphones because he was still calling the shots. Think about that. Like, you're going in, they got like big, giant, huge mics up there.
Right.
Oh, good God. Just insane. So much fun stuff to get to. What do we know? So, anything new in the last couple hours?
On the zebra?
Not on the zebra, but on the dude who decided to try to catch everybody on fire.
No, but apparently Boulder police are still trying to determine if it was terrorism.
Well, the FBI said it was, so we're going to go with them because I think they're good. The other thing was, I heard he's being charged with first-degree murder, but they're not saying if anybody died.
Yeah, I've not heard of anybody, dying from this. I mean, I know they've got to be probably wishing they were dead. The kind of pain that this would inflict on you.
Can you think of? There's very few like where you think, "Ooh, that'd be awful." Like that's just
Yeah. That's it.
That right there. That one right there. The burning to death. This guy with his homemade Molotov cocktails and flamethrower combo kit.
Yeah, made it. He made it himself.
Screaming free Palestine. And, it was in Colorado. It wasn't in Texas. Because Texas, what happened? He got shot. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Don't know what happened to him.
But I saw today where they're going to charge him with first-degree murder. I'm like, I don't know. Nobody, they haven't said anybody's died, but there was an old lady, they said from her legs down, from her ankles to her buttocks,
that's terrible.
It was like melted.
Yeah.
And it's mostly this entire area, they do this almost weekly. Right. It is not like kill Palestine. It's just them talking about bringing home the hostages.
Right.
That's it. And it's mostly older people.
Kind of like a vigil.
Yeah, like 50s and 60 years old.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of young, because nobody's out there marching for the Jews. Nobody is. So, very interesting. We'll talk about that. A lot of stuff to get to. Ken's back in the house. There's all bells here. Always, with no head. Always. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We got a ton of it. If you any questions whatsoever about anything, maybe we answer some of them. Maybe we don't.
Maybe.
That's how we roll here. Like sometimes it happens. Sometimes we ignore you because you say just bizarre things on the old text line. Bell, if they want to get rid of text-wise, what do they do?
615-737-9986.
There you go. There you go. So text us. Feel free. Ask us any questions you got. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. We got crazy audio because Ken's back, so we got to have crazy.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Microfeminism Monday.
My favorite.
Yes, this is a good time. We're going to do that straight ahead. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Happy Monday, everybody. It's Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Prize picks, baby. Prize picks. Let me tell you something about prize picks. One more in the basketball playoffs to go. One more. If this is it, championship, your chance to win is still there with prize picks. And remember, it's more or less. You're picking a player, not teams. It's that simple. So you look out there and you say, I got some great picks on these things. You roll to it. It's your first $5 lineup that you play. And you set a lineup, you could do it as easy as 2 players. And more or less, more points, more rebounds, more assists, more goals, whatever sport you're choosing. It's that simple. You can win up to 2,000 times your money. Here's the great thing. The first time you download the app, use my code Chad, you get a $50 bonus immediately, win or lose right there. They got tons of promos for you to run around and enjoy. I love playing. It's simple and easy. It takes about 60 seconds. So you download the app today, play your first $5 lineup, get that $50 bonus when you use my code Chad. How do you do it? Go to Prize Picks, download the app, and within a few seconds, boom, code Chad. You play that first lineup, $50 right in your account, win or lose. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be 21, present in Tennessee. Gambling problem, call 1-800-426-2537.
8 people recovering in the Boulder, Colorado makeshift flamethrower attack. We'll tell you what police are saying about the suspect coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Here are some acts of microfeminism you can use to disrupt the patriarchy. When a man comes towards you on the street, don't move. Walk straight towards him. Don't jump out of the way. If someone's telling you a story about an executive, a pilot, a politician, or a CEO, assume it's a she.
Okay.
Whenever someone refers to you by a diminutive or a pet name like sweetie or honey, just call them it right back. If you're ever making a sports analogy, use women's sports. Refer to Serena as the GOAT. When a man asks you an inappropriate question, don't answer. When using examples of people in power, use women leaders.
Oh, God. Microfeminism Monday.
So what if we say, oh, yes, my little chickadee?
They'll say chickadee back to you. And if some chick comes up to me and goes, say, I like use chick. Sorry about that, ladies, whatever. Some chick comes up to me and she goes, what's up, sweetie? I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, I care. Like, oh, God, words have crushed my soul. What the hell's wrong with you people? I'm going to walk and smash into you.
They're just going to keep it. I mean, they're not even going to move out of the way.
Yeah. What if, what'd you say there? Because I played this for you. We didn't play it the other day. What'd you say, Belle, if they're on?
If I'm on the right side of the sidewalk and they're walking towards me, they can move. If I'm on the left side and they're walking towards me, I'll move.
Yeah. And it's funny in the video. She does this. Guys don't care. You seem to really think that guys are like, I better care. But listen to her. She knows. Yeah, you referred to Serena as the GOAT. She was. She was the GOAT for women tennis.
Yeah, sure was.
She was
I
amazing.
wouldn't argue that.
It wasn't even fair. It was like watching the Predator beat up on regular people. It's like, why is the Predator playing tennis? I don't know, but the Predator's badass.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, Serena was great. Venus was great, but Serena is the GOAT for women's tennis.
Sure.
But you know what she's not the GOAT of? The greatest of all time, period.
Right.
Right? You just had Federer, Djokovic, and she even, remember when she was on television one night going, because she got sucked into that argument by the John McEnroe thing. And everybody's like, why don't you refer to her as the GOAT? Because she's not. And everybody got on him. I think it was on MSNBC. And he goes, I don't care. She's not the GOAT. And then she was on with Letterman, and Letterman's talking to her. And she goes, look, if I played Andy Murray, he'd beat me in about 10 minutes. It wouldn't even be close. He would smoke me. Oh, really? Yes.
What do you think about that, little chickadee?
Little chickadee?
Yeah.
Goodness me. People like Serena's not the GOAT. Well, for women's tennis, she is. There's no doubt. She crushed everybody's soul. But it wasn't, it's not the same. So it's like, would you refer to Lisa Leslie as the greatest basketball player of all time? No, you know who wouldn't? Lisa Leslie. Right? Or anybody. I mean, no, nobody. Hell no. But I love you just walk right by them and like bump shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when I knock you down on accident because you're trying to throw down with me?
Right.
Like you're trying to start a fight? Is this the goal? Good God. Ladies, get a hold of some of these ladies. This is why you're single, ma'am. But she's good. So it's Micro-Feminism Monday. We want to make sure that you guys are solid in your feminism. And remember, if they are asking you an inappropriate question like, hey, Linda, did you get your crap done? Because we got a big meeting this afternoon. And you deem that too much, don't answer it. Who's that for? You know what I love to do? I run straight to the comments.
Yeah.
Because I like to see what people say. Some of the hilariousness of what they have to say.
I've missed our comments.
Oh, the comments are fantastic. Being called sweetie doesn't bother you because you don't live in a world where all women think men are stupid and have no value. I don't know. I mean, they don't. I mean, why don't we have... Where did it come? Because we're old enough, guys, to remember when like feminism was really hitting its, I am woman, hear me roar, all that stuff.
Yeah.
At no point, even my mom talks about this, was it ever about cutting down the man rather than raising up the woman.
Right.
And now it's got to be both.
Right.
You've got to do both or else. which I think is a bunch of hogwash. Hooey, I say. Hooey. Hooey. Yeah, Serena and Venus lost to the 216th ranked player. I remember that. They were still young, but yeah, they were never going to. They recognized that. That's the funny thing. Serena has never once not recognized the fact that her place in history with the women is, it's everything. That she's the greatest. But she also recognizes the fact that I was never going to beat a man playing singles for real. Just wasn't going to happen. It is. I follow this couple. It's a husband and wife couple. He played like D3 tennis. She was like a Division I champion. And she just laughs. She looks at the camera and goes, okay, I'm going to try to return one of his serves. And he just rails one at their husband and wife. And she gets nowhere near it. She just turns and laughs.
Yeah.
And again, it's just reality. And I know that's hard for a lot of people out there.
Physics.
Physics, baby.
Biology.
You missed the lady last week that talked about how she dominated when she was 7 years old, Ken, in baseball. And that's why women are better. We still haven't figured out who drafted her in Major League Baseball's draft. But we know it wasn't the Dodgers. Coming up, a lot of stuff to get to. Is there a shadow force removing the homeless? What are they doing with them? Talk about that. Bunch of other stuff straight ahead. It is the Jet Show, Super Talk 997.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We'll give you the full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now, 8 people are recovering in the Boulder, Colorado area after police say a man attacked a group of people gathering to show their support for freeing the hostages in Gaza. Police say the suspect used a makeshift flamethrower into the crowd and that the suspect allegedly yelled "Free Palestine" during the attack. Boulder police stopping short of calling the attack terrorism, but the FBI's characterized it as such. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest from President Trump.
Responding to the attack in Boulder, Colorado, the day after it happened, writing in a social media post that it will not be tolerated. The Department of Homeland Security said Monday the man suspected of carrying out the attack during a pro-Israel demonstration is in the U.S. illegally. His B-2 visa, typically a tourism visa, expired in February 2023. President Trump writes in his post, quote, "This is yet another example of why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland." Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Federal immigration authorities in Boston say they've arrested about 1,500 undocumented immigrants all over Massachusetts in a widespread crackdown that they're calling Operation Patriot. Authorities claim the majority of those arrested in Massachusetts have criminal records ranging from sex offenders to drug trafficking. And right now in Nashville, CMA Fest is upon us. News Channel 5 says a global support program is returning, going to help revelers avoid dangerous situations like intoxication or sexual assault. Last year, Red Frogs coordinated with almost 40 volunteers, handed out over 33,000 cups of water, and they charged nearly 2,000 phones. This year, News Channel 5 says they're going to have 100 trained volunteers and 3 support stations strategically placed across downtown. Just look for the red tents. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
In capital management.
Want to be prepared for off and on showers and storms. Through CMA Fest.
Want to be prepared for looking right? Contours is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. We can eat right, we do all the things, but every once in a while I need a little helpity-help to get those inches off. That's where Contours comes in. I go there. It's amazing. Right here at Cool Springs, the red light thing, you get underneath the therapy. It's incredible. Tightens your skin, gets rid of all that excess yuck that's out there, that fat. It's awesome. You want to lose inches? You're going to be guaranteed to lose 2 inches, or the first treatment is absolutely free. It's non-invasive. It doesn't hurt. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's very relaxing. And ladies, they also do facials, revitalizing, and the red light therapy tightens your skin, restores your natural glow. But guys and gals, if you're saying to yourself, I'd like to get myself in bikini/board shorts looking body, this is it. Contours is incredible. Check them out online. Tell them I sent you. Call 615-236-9960. That's 615-236-9960. Or visit them online at contoursllc.com to schedule. So it's so weird. I'm looking at this. He's been booked in for 2 counts of murder, first-degree murder.
Okay.
But at the same time, it doesn't say who he's murdered. He doesn't say, because the people that were injured are in the hospital. So did it happen pre this and we don't know about it?
Do not know, man.
I don't know either. So 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 with extreme indifference, and 1 listed as deliberation with intent.
So are those the state charges?
I think so. Yeah, those must be the state charges.
Okay, yeah, because all I'm seeing right now is they have just, I guess, federal authorities are now charging him with federal hate crimes. But
Yes.
I don't see any. I don't see any murder charges out of the coming from the feds anyway.
No. So the ages of the people, 4 men, 4 women injured, 52 to 88. And this is something they've done weekly for a while. And again, they just go out there and they march and they do a little walk. It's not like they're, 300 of them wearing yarmulkes screaming, "Down with Palestine."
Yeah.
So bizarre. But I was like looking and going, okay, they're saying that he's being charged with murder, but I haven't heard if anybody was murdered.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
We will keep you up to date. Apparently, they're going to have a news conference here coming up in a little while. So keep everybody abreast of the situation. I said abreast of the situation.
Fellas due in court this afternoon. So what is Colorado's 1 hour behind us?
Yeah.
They're mountain time.
Yeah, they're mountain time. So they're 1 hour behind us. So we'll find out. He is right now. They said, was it $10 million bail? I don't think he's going to have
He
that.
ain't going anywhere.
I don't think he's got that in his bank account. So what's going on? Or do we have a shadow force? That's what I've been told. So I saw this the other day, and I'm like, I need to dig a little deeper. Apparently, there's a shadow force moving the homeless, taking them somewhere. What was that movie? Was where they would feed people stuff? Valiant? Was it Green? Soylent Green?
Oh, they turned people into food. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Soylent Green.
It's people.
Could it be?
It's Friday, May 9th, and you're about to see how a whistleblower says homeless are being secretly cleared out of downtown Nashville, arrested and jailed, but not by Metro Police.
I find it deeply troubling, and I think it's quite insidious.
WSMV4 Investigates watched as Michael Lambert, a homeless man sitting on Lower Broadway, suddenly stood up when this man in a yellow shirt identifying him as a downtown ambassador came to talk to him.
By the way, I'm going to throw this out there. When he said sitting down, Michael wasn't really sitting as much as he was trying not to pass out. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What did he say to you?
They told me I couldn't sit. You got to stand up.
You can see Lambert quickly did it because he knows
Quickly.
what happens if he doesn't. In this 2023 affidavit, Lambert was doing the same thing, found to be obstructing a temporary access passageway, found sitting on the sidewalk with an open container of alcohol. He was placed under arrest, but not by Metro Police.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. So it's not the cops. They've got like tourist cops. That's what I'm calling them. Right? Tourist cops. You see this, like San Francisco, when G came or whatever, magically all the homeless people disappeared. Right?
Yeah.
Well, if they don't work for Metro Nashville, who do they work for?
They're tourist cops. All right?
What's that mean, though?
They're here to make sure the tourists have a good time.
So who do they answer to?
God.
Okay.
Instead, by a state trooper using unmarked cars like this one, part of what this whistleblower describes as a secretive unit often summoned by downtown ambassadors.
Or Satan. Now, by the way, whoever did this guy's voice, the worst you've... So bad.
Our job is to police the homeless community.
This whistleblower should know he's one of the state troopers working the unit.
Profiling is what it is.
The troopers, they want to with you.
Did you ever think it was strange that state troopers were down here?
Always. I mean, they should be out on the interstate.
But they're not state troopers. You're wrong. Tourist police. They want people to have a good time. They don't. And I will say, when I came out 2 years ago, when I went up and down Broadway, man, there were so many people that we were like, oh, you know, doing the sway, right? The fentanyl sway.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're like, you know, like one eye's open. They got like, and they're just kind of swaying back and forth. There was a lot of that going on. A lot. And they weren't, he was just sitting here quietly drinking a beverage that he purchased. No. No, Michael wasn't. Michael was crap-faced, for lack of a better term, right? And all the guy get up and say, come on, dude, you got to move along, right? You can't, this is not where you live. This is not a lifestyle choice. You're a hot mess.
Of all the divisions the THP displays on its website, there is no mention of patrolling downtown Nashville. Here's where the trooper says the lines get blurred. He says while they are in uniform working for the unit, they aren't working for the state. They're being paid for part-time work with private dollars by the downtown partnership through a contract with the security company Solarin.
AKA tourist cops.
Yeah.
Tourist cops. They just have yellow shirts on, and they got the little camera, and they drive around and marked, you know, just saying, hey, guys, move along, right?
Man,
They have their badges out?
No, didn't seem to be badges.
no, we don't need no badges.
Sticky badges.
Which is at the center of our thin blurred line investigation. Paid not to be security, but to be police. But wait a minute, you may be asking, why would private businesses even need a police force if Metro Police has their own precinct on Lower Broadway?
Because we know that Freddie probably thinks it's a lifestyle choice. so it's okay. Okay? It's a lifestyle choice, guys. So we got to do better. And THP's like, no. And so they go and get tourist cops.
This trooper says the businesses who are part of the downtown partnership are frustrated, saying Metro Police isn't focused on the homeless.
These companies were fed up with that, and so they were paying Solarian to pay us to police downtown Nashville.
This trooper says almost immediately he started regretting working part-time for the unit.
Until he got his paycheck. Who messed with his voice? Like, who's the noob that's there that did this?
Sounds like somebody's terrified of being caught and asked them to make it super difficult to understand him.
Yeah. If you're a business owner, you don't want because once you allow it to spread, once you allow it to happen, and I know what Freddie and everybody's going to say, it's people are priced out of the market. No, these people aren't priced out of the market. They're not. They're priced out of the market now because they can't hold a job. They can't do anything. They're a hot freaking mess. I was reading, it was today, they're getting rid of the last homeless camp, right? And they've got these like little yurts, those little like tent like things, modules. And they're like, it's really tough to get them to stay. I'm like, well, they don't stay when they have a place to stay. And if there's any rules, they don't stay.
Yeah, they don't like rules.
No, because they're not all there or because it goes against their partying, their drink. Yes, are there people out there that have fallen in some hard times? But most people who fall in hard times, they can couch surf. They're going to an actual shelter where their goal is to get out of there. They're not sleeping or passed out on the street. They're not doing things in the park for money. They're not. That's you don't miss a paycheck and like, fentanyl.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen that way. But this is what they make it think.
Photos like these, taken by the troopers, were being passed around to show how homeless could be removed from Lower Broadway simply for sitting or holding signs.
If they make it seem like they're just sitting there, they weren't doing anything. They've been sitting there for 6 months, right? Showing up in the morning and having somebody sleeping in the middle of your walkway there, or maybe if crapped or pissed or starting fights. I was telling you guys last week, there's a fight in the park because now that it's really getting nice out there, they're starting to spread out, right? Like they're going to their spaces,
coming out, yeah,
getting further away from the shelters and whatnot. And you can feel bad, but you also run a business. And the business doesn't need this. And it's insane. It is to think, well, he was just sitting there, just minding his own business, holding a sign. And you're like, we have people across. My wife has like this little bag she packs for all the people that are homeless. And if Charlie sees one out the window, my wife will take one down to them and stuff. And she's getting to know some of these people. But look, they're a hot mess. And sometimes I've seen some, they go to shelters. They've asked us to take them to shelters a couple times, especially when it got really cold. But they're a hot mess. They are. And no matter how much you try, it is a... Now, should TH be doing it for the tourism? Well, yeah, because what are we? Let's be real. Besides the fact that it's a great place that people want to come and live now, this is a place where people want to come and hang out. They want to have their parties. This is like a new opportunity to grow hey, everybody's coming here for the big insurance thing or their big whatever, right? Remember the NFL draft? We got the, whatever sporting event. You don't want that. You don't. And you could feel bad. And everybody's like, because let's be real. What is government looking to do at the local level? Where can we stick these people that they won't be an eyesore or a mess to the population? That sounds like it's a horrible thing. That's it. It's what it is. And so why wouldn't you want to have somebody come through and move them out? Because, Freddie's like, oh, don't touch them. Again, it's lifestyle choice. It's not a lifestyle choice. And it's not because they missed a paycheck. And it's not because a place costs $485,000 in Franklin or something. It's not that. It's because they've got mental illness and drug addiction. That is a vast majority of them. And if you give them a place today, they'll trash it and disappear.
I used to see on my way home in the afternoons, I used to see WeGo buses, between here and Murfreesboro. And then my wife started telling me that, when she worked downtown Murfreesboro at the time, these WeGo buses would show up on the square and just homeless person after homeless person would get off.
Yes. And they just drive around for hours on them. And it's just, and what do you think this new big, choo-choo
Well, I think
train?
they were dumping them.
Yes.
They're dumping them in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, how about that, Murfreesboro? But somebody said, what about the pods? The pods is what they're trying to do today. They've got like 100 to 150 pods they're going to try to put people into. They're like 100 square feet.
They'll trash them.
But they'll trash them if they stay at all.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. They say, well, a lot of times they don't stay. So what then? You spend all this money and we're going to have an initiative to lower the cost of housing. You can give it away and it won't matter because you're not dealing with the root cause of the issue, drugs and mental illness. The guy across the street that I see every day, nice guy. I tell you this right now. It's not because dude missed a paycheck. And he'll tell you straight up. He drinks and he does lots of drugs. And there are times that you see him and he's totally fine, says, hey, Chad. There's other times he doesn't know who the hell you are. So let's all settle down with this. And until we address, and this goes anywhere in the country, until you address the root cause of this, it doesn't matter. It's mental illness and drugs, period. They're addicts. Maybe they were addicts first and the mental illness creeped in. Maybe mental illness was a huge part of it and they used drugs to try to fix the situation. Either way, that's what you're dealing with. Coming up on this beautiful Monday, a lot of stuff still to get to. Got some of your text messages here. You can reach out to us across all of the text message world. We love hearing from all of you. I've got some fun stuff. We got some stuff that's could be serious, but probably won't be because we're not good at serious stuff. That's how we roll here. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Streaming on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN app.
Birch Gold is awesome, and you need gold. Why? It's a great way to protect yourself in the event that things may go sideways, whether it's a weakening of the dollar or whether it's little things like, recession or global conflict. Gold has been there for a while, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's why you need gold. So I want you to text the word Benson to 989898 today for Birch Gold, and the reason is simple. You're going to try to info kit. They're going to show you why diversification from your savings, how you can move everything tax-free into an IRA or 401k. It is truly that simple, and it's a great thing to have. And gold's gone up massively in the last year, and there's still opportunities ahead. So why not protect yourself with my friends, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the ones I swear by, Birch Gold. Text the word Benson now to 989898 today for Birch Gold.
Federal authorities announcing charges in the case of the flamethrower attack in Boulder, Colorado. This story and more at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
If you guys didn't see over the weekend, Ukraine put a whooping up on the old Russians.
Man, that was something.
You know what's really crazy? So
are you talking about that drone attack on their bombers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that story.
So I saw a couple videos. I'm like, man, AI is getting really good. That's how much. But I knew the story was real, but I couldn't tell at this point in time if the video is real, even though you knew. But then you started to see, okay, it's everywhere else because video is so good nowadays. But woo, they put a whooping up on there.
$500 drones taking out hundreds of millions of dollars in military hardware.
Yeah, they said it took about a year and a half to put this together. And they were inside of, like, if people move like a trailer, like a house. And they were in there, and then the roof would open up and these things take off and they just dive bombing. And the Russians had no chance at all. I mean, it was brilliant. It was absolutely, you're like, damn. Billions of dollars wasted, and they're sick and tired. I think the world, and I'd like to see Trump get even more sick and tired of it when it comes to, everybody knows now he is stalling because he's got another big offensive he wants to run. Like, let's run one more back to see what we can get out of this. But this was a wake-up call for them. That was embarrassing. Man, it was. And watching those things, too, because, you know, the different world we live in now, it is all out there to see. So at first, I'm like, I don't know if it's real. Then I started watching. I'm like, whoa, this is cool. Because you see them flying around. It looked like the movie 4th of July or whatever, Independence Day. Because they were, and I don't know what the Russians were shooting at. It's like,
this took out, according to one military expert, this took out about 30% of Russia's air defenses.
Yeah. I mean,
that's significant, man.
That is huge. If you ask any of our military people, the first thing they'll tell you, what's the first thing America does? We dominate the sky.
Yep.
Because once we own the air, it's over.
Yep.
You're done. You are done. You can't. There's nothing you can do. Once we own the air, it is over. And that's why our Air Force is so badass. And taking out 40 of their big bombers is a huge blow. That's a kick. And it's also a confidence thing.
Yeah, 30% of their strategic bombers.
Yeah, you go look at back in when things really started to change for the Japanese. When Doolittle did his raid and they realized that we could get there with our bombers, that changed mindset. Same thing in Germany. When they started bombing, in Germany, the mindset changed. And this right now, woo, wake up call. You better get there. Get this thing sorted out. They're offering you a whole bunch of crap, for God's sakes. Take it. Coming up, hour number 2, Sesame Street. We know they went woke. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. Have a lot of bit of fun with that. More on a bunch of other stuff, including, yes, kids, what is going on with this guy in Colorado? Use the word guy loosely because he's a scumbag POS. Talk about that as well. A bunch of other things. You're missing the show, grab the podcast and check us out online everywhere and follow me at Chad Benson Show. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And right now, new developments in the case of the flamethrower attack in Boulder, Colorado. The suspect accused of setting 8 people on fire at what was a weekly vigil for the release of hostages in Gaza, now charged with a federal hate crime. Here's Karen Travers at the White House.
President Trump responding to the attack in Boulder, Colorado, the day after it happened, writing in a social media post that it will not be tolerated. The Department of Homeland Security said Monday the man suspected of carrying out the attack during a pro-Israel demonstration is in the U.S. illegally. His B-2 visa, typically a tourism visa, expired in February 2023. President Trump writes in his post, quote, "This is yet another example of why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland." Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Yeah, so Fox News is reporting at the state level, Solomon is charged with murder in the first degree, deliberation with intent, murder in the first degree, extreme indifference, crimes against at-risk adults and the elderly, and first-degree assault, non-family. All of these charges, and that includes the murder, but I've not heard and I've not seen of anybody dying in this attack. So we'll wait for this press conference expected later this afternoon. Maybe they'll sort out some of those details. ICE is rounding up people in Massachusetts. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says they've arrested about 1,500 undocumented immigrants all over Massachusetts in a widespread crackdown they're calling Operation Patriot.
This operation proved that we need to be more. While this operation was going on, and the brave men and women from all these agencies were out conducting operations, more criminal aliens were being released into the community. We did this already once. We saw a large number in a week time, but that just showed we needed to come back, and we're going to keep coming back.
Authorities claim the majority of those arrested in Massachusetts have criminal records ranging from sex offenses to drug trafficking. Military expert Mick Mulroy describing the damage Ukraine's massive drone attack did deep inside Russia.
It looks like around 30% or higher of their strategic bombers were destroyed. Some of these drones were as low as $500, taking out $1 million aircraft. It was a blow tactically, it was a blow strategically, and it was a blow politically.
Yeah, it comes amid new peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. Marcus Moore reporting the two sides met for a little over an hour in Istanbul today.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has been calling for a permanent ceasefire in this war. Russia has said that it would be open to a pause in the fighting, but only if their conditions were met. And early on in these discussions, a lot of what Russia had presented were non-starters for Ukraine.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
What is up? It is the number one show for zebras in the Nashville area. Chad Benson Show. No word on the zebra yet. We're hoping we find the zebra sooner rather than later.
Zebra's still out there, dude.
Still out there causing damage. If you guys haven't heard, a zebra got out. What are we going on, 2 days almost?
It was Saturday, I believe, that it was spotted. So, yeah, a full 2 days.
Sweet mother of goodness.
We need Dennis Weaver to come back.
That's right, Chester. You know. Well, Matthew, I could fix it. No, you can't, Dennis.
No, and he could be McLeod again.
Oh, McLeod.
Crime fighter on a zebra.
That's right, on a zebra.
Riding the streets of Murfreesboro.
I don't think you want that. With the homeless people. People are like, they're just shipping them out here. That's what somebody just texted. Oh, my Lord. Somebody also asked the question, if the likes of Putin starts to lose bad, will he use a nuke? He would never use a conventional. Could he use something dirty? It's possible. Here's the thing, though. If you go and do that, you've now just completely walled yourself off. You are alone. Maybe North Korea, maybe. But even then, China will put too much pressure on him. Because China, here's the thing about Xi. He's got enough problems. The minute you become an anchor, he'll cut you off. And as we all know, they got issues right now in China. So, no, I don't. I'm not worried about him using a nuke. I don't think he, because he understands if we decide, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to go and you're going to use a nuclear weapon, you're going to pay the ultimate price because we're going to light you up. And by Europe themselves would just come hard.
Absolutely.
I mean, even today I saw Keir Starmer said, look, we're on a war footing now. And so we're going to have to change our thought process and move in a direction where we're getting more ready potentially for what could take place. Because they're worried that we're going to step away and not do anything. I don't think that's true. Trump, I think, is going to do everything he possibly can. But he's also got to make a decision. At what point in time does he say, all right, dude, that's enough, all right? If you're going to be this way and you're really not serious about this, and we're going to go after anybody who deals with you that we deal with. So maybe you're a nation that deals with Russia for something, and we decide, okay, we're going to come hard at you, and we're going to now squeeze every penny out of you, every ounce we can get out of you, and make sure that you've got nothing. We're going to put sanctions on nations that even have a passing friendship with Russia. So that'll start to dry up even more money. Because that's been the thing. They figured out how to maneuver around with these big European nations, not really dealing with them, because they went to other places. But if you start taking those other places away, then it's going to get serious. And then if he did something else, well, then that's when you look at him and say, all right, now here's the deal. We've decided, you thought the drones were bad. What do you see the drones we're giving them now? What do you see the airplanes we're going to give them and let them fly today that can reach you in Moscow? And that changes that. Ooh. So we'll see. We'll see. Took him a year and a half to get that thing ready. What an attack it was. It was that was a pretty damn big attack. I mean, the amount of damage it did. And like psychological.
Took out a third of their long-range bombers.
Yeah. Psychological. It's huge.
One little country.
Somebody said the zebra was caught yesterday.
Really?
I don't see it. Maybe it was. Did I catch it?
Has the Murfreesboro zebra been caught?
Where was he caught at? Are we sure it's the right zebra?
There might be 2 or 3 running around out there.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, Channel 2 is reporting as of 2 hours ago that it's still on the run.
Well, see?
I'm seeing it's still out there.
It's like the thing with the people keep asking the question, how are you charging a guy with murder if nobody's dead?
That's what I've got to figure out here.
And
the state is the state has leveled murder charges.
Now, because I was talking to my wife about this, I'm like, could he potentially have killed people earlier that had nothing to do with the incident.
That could be.
Which is a possibility. But I don't know because all we know about is this. And he's got state charges and he's got federal hate crime charges, but they haven't put murder on him yet. And, the first thing everybody runs out, okay, who is he again? Where's he from? Okay. But did he overstay? Yes, he overstayed a visa. That's what he did. And then he applied for asylum. And then Biden the robot. Did you see the new thing with Trump?
What's that?
Trump, re-truthed something about Biden was executed and he was actually a robot the last 2 years or 4 years.
I
like, what?
I've got to look that up.
That's one of my favorite things. The conspiracy theories around Biden, just originally he was 6'1", now he's 6'6". You're like, So he shared an outlandish conspiracy theory on social media Saturday night, saying the former president, Joseph R. Biden, Robinette, was executed in 2020 and replaced by a robotic clone.
Wait a minute, was it a robot or was it a clone?
It was a robotic clone. Well, wouldn't that just be, first of all, that would just be, if it's a clone, it's just him.
Yeah.
But then why wouldn't he have been younger, fresher, leaner, brighter?
Because they aged it so it wouldn't be suspected.
His batteries ran out. That is a what? That's all I got to say. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, who?
Oh, man.
It's a robotic clone. How did we get here? Anybody? Oh, my Lord. That's insane. A robot would have performed better. 0978 said, yeah, it would. My parents believe the clone theory as well, says Steve. You know what? I had several people who thought that, during his inauguration, that he wasn't real, that he was either being held or had been executed. And that this was a robot. Like we could make a robot that good. That's crazy. That is just insane to think that. He loves to do that, though. He pushes the boundary.
He does, man.
He's like, let's put this out there.
It's just like the Diddy thing.
Oh.
And I'll have to look at the case.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine that he would. Like, I don't know how much meme coin Diddy would have to buy to get that. But Diddy bought $2 billion in. Well, I got to do it now. No, you could never. If he went and pardoned Diddy, how would you people think about that? Text us. Let me know, how would you feel if he pardoned? It was bad enough he pardoned the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just out of nowhere. He's like, oh, yeah, we should get the other but still nothing on Joe Exotic, right?
Nah, Joe Exotic. In fact, Joe Exotic is pissed off.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah. It should be.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, remember that?
Dude.
Remember Don Jr. said, hey, you should pardon Joe Exotic because he got us through the pandemic. Oh, my God. Yeah, he is. I don't know why. He says some of this crazy stuff. Okay, here we go. Does anyone have an update on the zebra? He is home safe. It's been captured.
I am not seeing that. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just not seeing it yet. Maybe they have information we don't.
Yeah, it's still in the loose, and some are saying it's been hit by a car. People are saying, it's. How many of them were there? Have we asked that question?
That's true.
Oh, my Lord.
We're under the assumption there's just one zebra running around Murfreesboro.
Yeah, changing their stripes. That is just a... that's you got to love it, right? Like, just the beauty of the world we live in.
Some Pride organizer is going to capture it and paint it like a rainbow.
Oh, that's right. It's Pride Month. I was talking to my buddy
the
other day.
Pride zebra.
One of my good friends is a big-time radio guy, and he's gay, and he's just all, I hate Pride Month. It's so stupid.
Yes.
I was laughing. I'm like, really? He goes, it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Biden's robotic clone. That is a weird thing, right? But some people believe it.
Yeah.
We talked about conspiracies last week, but that one is a whole new level of insane. That's a whole new, you're living in a world where you may need to see somebody. You may need to, if you believe that he was a clone. Or, what was it? A body double was one of my favorites, too. I heard a lot about that when it came to him. He goes, a body double. It's basically he's wearing a meat suit. Like he's like at an amusement park when you put on the Mickey Mouse outfit or something, and you go backstage and you take the head off, and you're like, it's tough being Joe. It's tough. So very, very fruit stripe. Everybody's asking about the fruit stripe.
Oh yeah, the bubble gum.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Bill? Fruit stripe.
Yeah, I do, but it's vague. It's not like. If I picture it in my head, I sort of know what it looks like. Whereas, if I thought about something like Oreos, I know exactly what those are.
Yeah, no, the fruit stripe is that horrible gum. How long did it last for, Ken?
About 20 seconds.
20 seconds. You take 3 bites, you're like, this is it's gone now.
Rest of the time, you're just chewing rubber.
Chewing the end of what was it? I always used to tell everybody, it's like you had a balloon and it popped and some of it's in your mouth and you're chewing it. That's what it was like. But the first 20 seconds, you're like, this is amazing.
It's great.
This is great. They shot their shot early on. You know what else gum was like that? Was Gator gum from Gatorade.
That's right.
Gatorade gum was great. Man, the first you bite into it.
It was like for the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, you bite into it and it would hurt your jaw because it was so sweet and stuff.
So tart.
And then you're like, this is nice. And then about 3 minutes in, your jaw's sore and it's run out of its jam.
Yeah. Same way with that gum that had the syrup inside it. What was that gum called? Remember? They came in little squares.
Yes,
little cubes.
Not refreshers.
What were those?
Something like that.
Aqua
Fresh.
No, Aqua.
I know exactly what Ken's talking about, though.
Yes.
They're little square cubes, and they had
bubble gum with juice inside.
Freshen Up? No, I don't think that was it. Was that Freshen Up?
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh man, I shouldn't have come up. Okay, liquid.
Maybe it was Freshen Up.
Chewels? I don't remember
No,
Chewels.
maybe it was Freshen Up. Man, that stuff was great. Too.
Freshen
You
Up
bite into
gum.
it, you're like, oh.
You're right. Freshen Up.
Freshen Up. Those were great.
Introduced in 1975. I don't remember it in 1975.
Everybody's hitting us up. Gushers? No, we're talking Freshen Up. Gushers are too new for us. Burst. Oh, your favorite gum in the world, kids.
Trident.
Yeah, Trident. Big Red. Kiss a little longer. Get happy a little longer. Longer with Big Red.
That's right. Remember?
Big Red's freshness runs right through you.
And then there was Hubba Bubba.
Yes. But nothing was as good as Freshen Up.
No.
Nothing.
No, it had juice in the center.
Yeah, that was so awesome. Now it's disgusting. But back then when you were a kid, you're like, this is nice. I'm living the dream here, kids. I'm living the dream. I am living the dream. Coming up, so much wacky stuff still to get to today. China, they've got their favorite school in the world. You'll never guess where it's at. I'll give you a hint. Harvard. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all this incredible stuff packed into an amazing supplement. You give your dog on a daily basis. It's a one and done. That's how amazing this stuff is. Scoop it right on top of your dog's food and let it go. Watch what happens. It's going to help your dogs in so many ways. Dog food is dead food. Let my buddies over at Rough Greens just deliver you the best supplement around. Millions of dogs are happy with it. Million dog owners are happy with it. So what do? Simple. All you have to do is go to roughgreens.com/Chad. You cover the cost of shipping. You get a $20 value bag free and then 1 scoop a day. You do not have to change your dog's food. You don't have to make them anything special. Just this is going to help your dogs with their aches and pains in their joints, their energy levels, their skin, their fur, just name a few things. It is incredible. Try a Jumpstart trial bag today It's a $20 value. You cover the cost of shipping. You get it for free. Roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com/Chad. Use code Chad. Oh, kids, USS, United Structural Systems. What are you waiting for? You want the best around? 30,000 happy customers. Been around 30 years. They're here to help you. It's ugly out there when it comes to the rains and the nasty storms that have come through here, there, warm, hot, cold. All of a sudden, you think you got a little crack, and could it have led to more? But you put it off. Next thing you know, you're thinking, could it have led to a lot more? Maybe wood rot, mold, things like that. That's where USS comes in. You call them, 615-488-7855. They come out, give you a full inspection. It doesn't cost you anything, and they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. But taking care of something soon is better than taking care of it late, because taking care of it late ends up being serious structural issues, right? Foundation issues, your wall, your basement crawl space. That is, do it now. Do it with USS, the best around. Call them today. Let them come take a look. 615-488-7855, or check them out online and all the great things they do at USSTN.com.
New developments in the case of the flamethrower attack in Boulder, Colorado. This story and more coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Look, Harvard's alleged ties to the Chinese Communist Party now under a very big microscope after these claims from the federal government. And as Harvard's future of enrolling foreign students faces an uncertain road ahead. So as part of this report by the Wall Street Journal, it detailed those alleged ties to the Communist Party of China. And it brought up past comments from the Shanghai Observer back in 2014, which said, quote, if we were to rank the Chinese Communist Party's overseas party schools, the one deserving top spot has to be Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. So to dive into this a little bit more, the paper went on to describe a training course program in the 2000s called China's Leaders in Development.
China's #1 party school isn't Florida State, because that's just a party. No. It is Harvard. And Donald Trump's like, no more. And this guy knows exactly what he's talking about.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is
He gets it. He knows. Don't trust China. So they've sent a whole bunch of people here from the Communist Party. And the amount of stuff that it doesn't matter, even if you're born here. So you're from China and you're born here. You've never even been back to China. Right? You've never been there. Grandma and Grandpa came to visit you, but you've not gone back to the homeland. You're an American as it gets, right? Your mom and dad may have been working here. Maybe all you need is a knock at the door and them saying, hey, Grandma and Grandpa, something could happen. So you don't want that. So maybe I see that you're working in this AI area. Maybe if you could find some stuff out and give it to us, it's all long game with them.
Harvard's own website describes how the program helped prepare senior, local, and central Chinese government staff to better address China's, quote, national reforms. The Wall Street Journal also named several Chinese Communist Party members who attended Harvard, including a former vice president of China who attended a training program at the university's public policy school in 2002, as well as a retired vice premier who received a master's from Harvard in public administration in 1995, and a current party member who took part in a short-term Harvard program in 1999. The paper went on to describe how President Xi's own daughter attended Harvard in the early 2010s under an assumed name, which staff knew about. That was when President Xi was then vice president. Harvard did not respond to this story, but we will also note that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as the current Canadian Prime Minister, also attended Harvard in the past.
And that means nothing. Okay? I'm not worried about them. Do you think we should trust China?
Don't trust China.
I'm not going to. Are you sure? I'm going to ask you again. Do you think we should?
Don't trust China.
Okay. Donald Trump? Should he?
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is
I'm just saying, by the sounds of it, no. And it goes back to the whole thing with trade. Right, with the tariffs and the crap going on, steel tariffs. I don't even know where our tariffs are at this point.
I have no idea.
I'll be honest with you. I think if you ask the people running the tariffs, they're like, do you know where it's at? No, not a problem. No, they have no idea.
I think the latest was 50% on steel from Europe.
Yep, I think that was it. But I don't, maybe not.
Yeah.
And because they go on and go off so fast.
Right.
So I don't trust, and I don't trust China.
Don't trust China.
I can't. All right? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. It's China, not the Chinese people. It's China. You may want to be here all you want. You may think it's a great place to be because it is. But in truth,
don't trust China.
We can't because Xi is who he is. He's Mao. They're here to win. Imagine us educating during the Cold War, allowing the Soviets to come over and go to college en masse. No, I don't think so. Do you imagine them letting us go to college en masse? Probably not. Yet we do. And this guy knows because he's from China.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is
He's so funny. Mysteriously, he disappeared.
Yeah, never heard from again.
I know. My goodness me. So they're the #1 school for the Chinese. And then at the end, they throw it in. Well, you know who else went here? No, we don't care. I don't care what the Canadian Prime Minister, whether or not they went there as kids. I don't think the Canadian Prime Minister is of a threat to us, right? Or any British politician or anybody like that. That means very little. But with China, it's a different story. With China, they come here. Their goal is to get super educated, and they take it all back to China. And what do? We'll find out. Because they want to win. I mean, that's their goal. We say it every day. They're not our friends, at least not at this jurisdiction. Doesn't mean that in 4 or 5 years, if Xi was to retire, it's like, I'm done. I did all my damage. And he decides to go chill somewhere, that the next guy comes in, isn't more friendly to the West and wants to open everything up. Doesn't mean that we don't do that. But just at this moment in time, you know what? I'm serious.
Don't trust China.
I'm not going to, man. I'll tell you that right now. Coming up! Sesame Street had a little bit of a CNN. I don't know what it was. It was some sort of thing. It's crazy. It's weird. CNN with, it was the Muppets. It's nuts, you know? I love it. So we'll talk a little bit about the Muppets and not the Muppets. What are they? Because I was never a Sesame Street guy. I was an electric company guy.
Muppets.
I was an electric company guy.
Yeah, because the electric company had Spider-Man.
Had Spider-Man. Way
and the
better.
Easy Reader, who was Morgan Freeman.
That's right.
And that song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, it's better than
Look
the count.
at Nell and the melody.
Yeah, it's better than the count going, 2. What do you guys say?
Or Bert's song about pigeons.
Oh, that's right.
Don't trust China.
We're not going to. Coming up, we don't trust China, and more of us straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. New developments in the case of the flamethrower attack in Boulder, Colorado. The suspect accused of setting 8 people on fire at what was a weekly vigil for the release of hostages in Gaza. He's now charged with a federal hate crime. Court documents show 45-year-old Mohammed Solomon told investigators he researched YouTube to make his weapon, bought the ingredients, built it. Federal authorities say Solomon is in the U.S. illegally. He had a tourist visa that expired in 2023. Federal immigration authorities in Boston say they've arrested about 1,500 undocumented immigrants all over Massachusetts in a widespread crackdown they're calling Operation Patriot. Here's Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
Significant amount of the criminal aliens that were arrested by the teams were drug traffickers, sex offenders, murderers, and foreign fugitives trying to evade justice in their home countries.
Yeah, reports say an 18-year-old high school student who was on his way to volleyball practice was arrested by ICE agents over the weekend there. Surprise attack on Russia. Tom Sufi Burridge says Ukraine snuck in truckloads of drones across enemy lines and crippled nuclear-capable Russian bombers.
This is a massive blow for the Putin regime. It's a huge embarrassment for Russia. And, striking at Russia's nuclear-capable aircraft positioned in air bases right across the country is a massive, massive hit to the Russian psyche.
Yeah, this attack comes as delegations from Russia and Ukraine met in Turkey for the second round of peace talks, although they spoke for under an hour today. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The rest of the week with rain chances increasing for the end of the week and into the weekend. You'll want to be prepared for off and on showers and storms through CMA Fest.
Retirement Ready Toolkit from our good friends over at Beacon is ready for you at no cost, no obligation, no hard sell. Now, what is the Retirement Ready Toolkit? It's simple. It is going to outline many things when it comes to your retirement, like, maybe retirement planning for your life, because you're going to want that, or maximizing your retirement income, or maybe things like healthcare. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Taxes, estate planning, little things like that. That's why Beacon is so important. So if you're at retirement or you're in retirement and you're worried about a lot of things, not just the dollars and cents of it, call them today. Get your free Retirement Ready Toolkit, 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303. And there's no obligation, no high pressure, none of that stuff, just a conversation with a great bunch of people. Call 615-488-9303 or online at AskBeaconNow.com. Da, 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 da. I'm telling you guys right now, men are staying away from Democrats. And I'm surprised because when you put the strongest leaders out there to do the greatest things, to speak of men is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, he could have been vice president, but wants to be president. Tim Wiener Walls.
I say this because I'm proud to say it. Looks like as of next Tuesday, I'm going to have a high school graduate with my son, Gus. And he's pretty in tune to this. But when he said this, he said, Dad, a lot of these young guys, especially, said they're not voting on the policy issues. And he wasn't dissing them. He said they may know the policy issues, but most of them don't. They're doing it because there's a sense of excitement, a sense of thrill in this. It's entertainment or whatever. We all dismiss that. Donald Trump's a clown. You know, Donald Trump's rallies are a clown. You know, this MMA fighting stuff and this, you know, and look, you start veering in to the Andrew Tate stuff, which is dangerous misogyny and, you know, assault issues and all of that.
Yes, we know. Andrew Tate's an awful human being. We get that. But he's one of 1,000 voices out there who don't blame young men for everything in the history of mankind. They don't. That's why you lose. I am fascinated. Ken, you weren't here. They spent $20 million on a study to learn how to talk to young men. The Democrats did.
What?
Yeah, $20 million. $20 million. Bell and I were like $100,000 and some lunch, and we got you covered. What do we do? Don't be a Richard. Don't run at the worst idea in the history of mankind. Don't look over there and say, see that dude over there? Right? That's a girl. You're like, I've seen a few in my life, and no. Right? And don't tell me if I say something and you find it offensive that somehow that's because of the patriarchy. Or whatever. Enough. Stop blaming them from everything. And stop sending this guy out.
But there's a peripheral side of that is not criminal, but is still going down the same road of saying you got a place to belong. And I think, this is me just pontificating for what it's worth, social media and other things have disconnected people more than they were. We were more connected in my generation. It was easier to be a kid when I was growing up. And I've always said this as a teacher, if you don't give a kid a place to belong, they'll go find one. So why you want them to be involved in sports and music and things in school, because they will go find a group of folks. And I think Donald Trump understands belonging, understand groups. I mean, you look at it. He gives them a uniform, the red hat. He gives them some chants, some talking points, whatever. It's not that all that different than when we build sports teams in high school. You belong, you're part of this. It's not so much the policies. I think it's incredibly dangerous, but I don't think we went out to get them. We didn't out to make them feel a part of this.
Because you don't want to. Because everything they stand for, you hate.
And your economy stunk.
Yeah, let's not forget about that. They're voting against their best interest. Their best interest was the economy. But also, stop blaming them for everything. We didn't go out and get them. What didn't we do? We didn't go out and get them. No, you didn't. And your economy sucked. At the end of the day, too, you forget that married women broke in a direction you didn't like. They're more conservative. He got a lot of the younger women. The millennials, those women are gone, right? You're not getting those back until they have kids, if they ever do. It's just, that's something that but you failed them, and this wasn't something that happened a year and a half ago. You failed them when you put the robot in. Didn't know earlier, Trump apparently re-truthed the thing that said in 2020 Biden was executed. It was a robot that was running everything. That'd have been more entertaining. You might have like, you know what? I don't really like the Democrats, but they got robots, so that's pretty cool. You failed. And by the way, if you think it is only us, I want you to listen to this. This is the Brits talking about their struggle, and they've got a struggle right now with the left over there, trying to get them to pay any attention to what they're doing and try to win men, because they've abandoned men as well. We've turned this world now into, it's all about women and men suck.
Liberals and the left, I think, have a blind spot when it comes to men. Everyone's been so focused elsewhere, and this sense of men being dominant and oppressive, that they don't take men seriously. And if you look at, Donald Trump was winning men of all ages, and from ethnicities, he was doing very well that he wasn't expected to. And amongst our polling, the the biggest sympathy amongst those who feel disenfranchised was for reform. So, I have no doubt that not taking men seriously is pushing them further to the right.
And is that because you think, I mean, I've witnessed myself for years, there's been an educational framework where young men are told, well, you've already won life's lottery, and more than that, you're toxic, you're a misogynist in waiting, and if you're not an ally of ours, then we're going to stomp down on you. And they're sitting around thinking, this system doesn't work for me, so I want a radical change.
Think about if you started every conversation with somebody by insulting them and telling them how evil and bad and wrong they are, and then go, hey, you should support me. How do you think that'd go? Do that today with your boss. Tell them how much they suck. Tell them how everything in the world's their fault. Do all of that. Do that with your wife or your husband. Some of you probably do. But that's why your relationship's not very good. What do you think would happen? You think people are going to be like, you're right. You know what? I'm all the horrible things. And it gets worse because we're being force-fed crap. And like I said, it's not just us.
And if you apply that to adulthood, when companies run things like whiteness programs, which the NHS has done and the police have done, you find that afterwards they're counterproductive. Things are worse for women and minorities after you run these programs because you've gone in there and you've told a bunch of white guys, hey, you're all implicitly racist, you just don't know it, and you're hyper-privileged. And the natural reaction to when someone calls you racist isn't to say, oh, that's right, I never knew I was racist, thank you for saying. It's like, no, I'm not. And you rebel against that. So, these DEI programs, which have cost about $14 billion a year, when you crunch the data, which very few companies do, and I've been working with this Harvard sociologist, they don't work. So they don't make life better for black people, for women, for minorities. And on top of this, they're driving up white men's level of anxiety, self-censorship, and seemingly having an impact on people's careers.
It's true. We used to have a guy, so when I worked out in Arizona, we had this guy, Pablo. I love Pablo. Pablito. He's my boy. But they would make everybody go through those DEI trainings. And it was different because you had to DEI train, so when radio works, you have clusters in different cities. It would have to be so you'd be on the Zoom call with somebody from another station and then somebody from another station. So there'd be like 5 or 6 people all from, and he would come off those things. And for 3 days, he hated Whitey. Like, calm down, dude. Calm down. He goes, you don't understand. It's the Aztec in me. I'm like, settle down. And then he'd be fine. You know what it didn't do? It didn't bring anybody together. It left everybody with a horrible taste in the mouth. They'd walk away and go, this was awful. This just, you've got 2 people on there who, first of all, you've got some white lady who's running it always. Always a white lady running it. And she's telling everybody how bad everybody is. And how those 2 white guys are bad and this, that, and the other. And then it doesn't help.
It's a camaraderie killer.
It is exactly it. That's exactly it. It's a camaraderie killer. And who's it for? Like, honestly, who's that for? Well, it's because if you're going to sue a business because somebody in that business treated you horrible, you're going to sue that business. Them going through DEI courses aren't going to fix it. Right? Like, oh man, I was a real jerk, and then I realized what a real jerk I was thanks to a 12-minute video
and the soothing music.
Oh yeah, totally. It's frustrating. This is why you lose men. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I mean, I love it. You guys fail. You fail every day at this. And the fact that you spent $20 million. The more I read about this thing this weekend, it is hilarious. And one of the other things, Ken, New York Times asked Democratic voters, what do you think of, if you were to describe the Democrats as animals, how would you describe them? They're like deer in headlight, a slug, a snail, right? Like all of these things. And they go, what would you say about Republicans? They're like animals of prey. I mean, they're predators. They are tigers and lions and sharks. And when they got that out, what did they do? They fumbled that because they have no other reason to not fumble it. They're awful. They're awful. No doubt about that. World Cup is coming here, for those of you guys who don't know. Apparently, there's a big push on the tick and the talk to get the World Cup taken away from us.
I think the World Cup's going to be a total disaster. Nobody that I know wants to come to America right now. And I know MAGA don't want to believe that and they think that's ridiculous. But yeah, that's really happening. Who would want a chance coming to America with the fear of getting freaking detained?
Which is not going to happen. Yeah, Chad, it could. No, it's not. It's not. What are they going to do? The teams are going to land here, and they're just going to take them right. Brazil's landed. They took him into custody. We got Messi. He lives here. It doesn't matter. We've taken him into custody. And I was earlier, during break, I was flipping around on my TikTok. Somebody sent me something, and it's FIFA's taking the World Cup away from us. Did you see this, Chad? I'm like, that's not real. FIFA's not done that. Yeah, but everybody's afraid. Okay, let's go over who hosted the World Cup. Qatar, Russia, Saudi Arabia's getting it. And you're worried about us? Well, Trump's a meanie. No, it's not going to. Millions of people don't want to come here. Baloney. It's going to happen. Stop with the lie. Well, and this is the funny thing about TikTok. Because of China, they will amplify stuff like this big time and push it out there. This guy here is trying to explain how everybody's terrified and how they're going to come up with something new.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. So next year in 2026, the FIFA World Cup comes to America. As a matter of fact, I live in a city that's going to be hosting games. It's real close by to where I live. And as a matter of fact, the United States Soccer Association headquarters is being built within 3 miles of where I live. So this is a big thing for America. However, now there's a lot of countries that were going to participate in the FIFA World Cup. They're starting to worry about, for their players, their fans, and whoever comes to America, even these people who have valid visas to come, to where what is going on in America with immigration and deportation, could it affect people coming from other foreign countries?
No, you idiot. What's wrong with you, Joe from Georgia? You need to wear a helmet, sir. It's not going to happen. It isn't. Not going to take people into custody. Not going to do anything. Now, if you come here and you break a law, same thing. Hey, I'll tell you what. There are people going to go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia promised FIFA all this stuff for the World Cup. Then the minute they got the World Cup, and they're like, oh, by the way, there's no alcohol here, period. Case closed. You're not going to get it anywhere. Nobody's allowed to have it. Budweiser's like the biggest sponsor. How do you think they feel right now? So settle down. Oh, they're not going to come here because they're afraid that once they land, the Brazil's going to all be arrested. Shut up. My God. Who are you people? How stupid are you? This is why we can't have nice things.
That's how America plans to win, is just arrest all the other teams.
Yeah, that's just it. Good God. And if you don't what's the World Cup? The World Cup is the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NBA basketball championships, and the college football championships rolled into one, and it's still nowhere near as big as globally how big this thing is. 100 different countries are going to be here to watch the game. And just to let everybody know, we're the biggest tourist dollars, even at foreign World Cups.
What's the total viewership on the World
Cup? The final will probably get about 1.5 to 2 billion people watching it.
That's got some people watching.
Yeah, it's got a few folk watching it, if you know what I mean. Coming up, a lot of good stuff. We'll do a little Sesame Street. We're going to go back a few years to Sesame Street as they push the insanity. And you might remember some of this lunacy. If you're missing any of the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycons. Wear them every single day. So why Raycons? Well, first and foremost, fit and feel second to none. Then you got the sound quality, which is incredible. You roll that into earbuds, and you've got the everyday earbuds from Raycon. Incredible. Now, here's this great thing. You get multi-connectivity, so you can connect two devices once. On top of that, this is awesome. And I absolutely love the fact that for every 10 minutes of charge, you get 90 minutes of listening. So that is incredible. So you put all that together, and what do you have? You have the everyday earbuds, tons of colors to choose from. Right now, 15% site-wide discounts going on right now when you use my code. You go to buyraycon.com/Chad, buyraycon.com/Chad. But if you want to win Father's Day, you do this. You're going to win. You're going to go right to the top, right? He's going to move some of the other kids down, put you at the top. Even if you're a stepchild, that's what happens with Raycons. What are you waiting for? 30-day happiness guarantee. Best earbuds around. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Buy Raycon.com/Chad.
News 2 says authorities have identified the man connected to that shooting in Colombia that left 2 people dead and another person injured over the weekend. We've got that and other developments in the Boulder, Colorado flamethrower attack coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Everything is woke and wacky. Let's go back a few years. Remember when CNN and Sesame Street got together? You guys want to hear some racism? Here we go.
Understand what's happening? Why are all these people together?
Okay, so there's Elmo.
I don't understand how these people together.
Oh, well, they're gathering together to protest.
Wait, what? Well, let me tell you. Well, that there is a bunch of people protest. What is that?
A protest is when people come together to show they are upset and disagree about something. They want to make others aware of the problem. Yeah, I'm bringing this sign to the protest at the community center later.
Oh, they look upset.
They are upset.
People are upset because racism is a huge problem in our country.
No, it's not. First of all, it's racist the way you sound. Let's just be honest, right? Can we throw it? What is it? No, let's be honest. I mean, you know, racism's a huge problem in this country. Compared to where? Show me a nation that has come as far as we have. Show me. Show me a nation as fast as we have. I said it last week, and I've been saying it since I started the show. You're born in America, you start on second base, regardless of color, regardless of anything. You start at second base. Some people, yes, you know what? They're standing on home already, having hit a home run they never hit. But for the average person, we are so far ahead of the game globally, it's insane.
But Elmo says...
Elmo
didn't touch that guy. That was thrown out of court.
Chad, remember that? But I'm listening to that guy, and you could listen to him. He's like, well, let me tell you, Elmo. I'm like, whoa, that's going back to Disney 1950s. Right? Bare necessities. I mean, it is that insanity. And you wonder why you're getting defunded.
Oh, geez, I don't know, man. Oh, Elmo don't like that.
Elmo don't like that.
Elmo ain't down.
Elmo's not down. That's not cool. You guys think you're cool? You're not cool.
I just want to point out to everybody he's doing that without any special effects whatsoever.
I was getting ready to say, man.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. What's up, Elmo? It's me, your cousin, Elroy. What's happening?
Oh, Chad. Coming up. Hey, we're going to do a little science next hour.
All right.
Chad's doing science, kids. Get ready. What's the most dangerous dog breeds? We're going to count it down. Oh, so many good things. How many steps you need to actually lose weight? Among other phenomenal fun things. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. 'Tis the Chad
Benson Show.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, News 2 says authorities have identified the man connected to the Columbia shooting as Byron Childers, a shooting which left 2 people dead and 1 person injured over the weekend there in Murray County. Childers being held without bond on 2 counts of first-degree murder, several other charges. No additional details as to what led to the shooting have been released, and police asking anyone with information to reach out to their investigations division. Meanwhile, the Boulder, Colorado flamethrower attack suspect facing federal hate crimes charges, 45-year-old Muhammad Solomon, whom federal authorities say is in the U.S. illegally, is accused of yelling Free Palestine and setting 8 people on fire during a vigil for the release of hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. 6 of the 8 have since been released from hospitals. A security source briefed on the situation, telling ABC News on Monday that 2 victims remain in critical condition but are expected to survive. Meanwhile, in Gaza, ABC's Ian Pannell says at least 30 people killed, hundreds of others injured near a food distribution site.
The situation, as we have it right now, is that around at least 24, according to aid agencies, 31, according to Hamas, were killed in this gunshot attack. It happened very early in the morning on Sunday, very close to one of the humanitarian food distribution sites.
Now the United Nations calling for an independent investigation after the Gaza Health Ministry accused Israeli forces of being behind the attacks. The IDF denies firing at civilians near the humanitarian aid site. And ICE agents are busy in Massachusetts. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says they've arrested about 1,500 undocumented immigrants all over the state in a widespread crackdown they're calling Operation Patriot.
Hundreds of brave officers and agents risk their lives every day here in the Commonwealth to remove danger of criminals from Boston, Worcester, Springfield, Lowell, Lawrence, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and several other communities across the Commonwealth.
Says the majority of those arrested have criminal records ranging from sex offenses to drug trafficking. Some money news for you. The 71st edition of the Fortune 500 list contains some newcomers at the bottom, but the top 5 have remained essentially unchanged. And ABC's Jim Ryan says corporate America is undergoing a shift in the corner office.
Never before have so many Fortune 500 companies been led by women, 55 altogether. The list includes Mary Barra of General Motors, Jane Frazier of Citigroup, and Carol Tomei, the Chief Executive Officer at UPS.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
We're talking earlier about zebras. Danny just sent this to me on the old X.
Yeah.
This is Canterbury Park in Minnesota. They have zebra races, part of their extreme race day event.
Yeah. gentlemen, Jay-Z has 99 problems. Look at Jay-Z.
There goes the first guy down.
Down with no shades of gray. Here comes Jay-Z.
There goes the second guy down.
Meanwhile, Jay-Z is recovered with an Empire State
This
of
one
Mind,
looks like
and
he's
now
going to win.
stopped.
Everybody, nope, it's turned around going the other way.
Zebras want to win.
This guy's right at the. Oh, this guy. Oh, and he got kicked in the head.
So Miss Claver wins in the most dramatic zooming zebra
Oh,
race
my
ever.
Lord. But, let's just say they're not. That's why nobody rides them.
Yeah.
They're not dependable, is what I'm trying to say.
They don't like it.
No, they don't like people. Their goal is to anything big, they're terrified of because they live in a world where through their breeding and through generations and centuries of being zebras, they are a flight first and fight if we have to because everything out here wants to kill us, including cars.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's been caught, maybe it hasn't, but if you guys haven't found out, there was. The zebras. That's why we don't ride zebras. Hey, guys, the whole Palestinian thing is going to be fixed. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Do you remember this young lady?
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
How dare you, young lady? Well, if you guys don't know who that is, that's Greta Thunberg, and she's currently on a boat.
Hello, I am currently standing on the Madeleine, the ship that on Sunday, June 1st, will attempt to again sail towards Gaza and to try to break the siege and open up a humanitarian corridor by delivering aid like food and medical supplies. The last time we attempted this, about a month ago, the boat Conscience that we were about to board, just a couple of hours before we were planning to board and set sail, it got bombed twice, and all evidence suggests that it was Israel who did it. Oh my God. So now we are here in Catania, outside of Sicily, to try to continue our mission to try again.
I'm glad. So it means climate change is fixed. Is that working?
I guess so.
Yeah, you have a better chance of fixing climate change than either of these two not hating each other.
Right.
You do. I mean, it's a nightmare. So that horrific attack yesterday with, what do you call him, flamethrower guy?
Yeah.
Probably the best way to describe it. He's been charged, I guess, at the local level with murder.
Yeah, and I'm nobody has died.
Yeah, nobody has died.
At least in that attack.
Yeah, but federal hate crimes, terrorism crimes, because that's what it was. That's terrorism. Guy's screaming, about Palestine. He's trying to get people. Here's the thing. We can have an honest conversation in this country about what's going on over there. It is horrific.
It is, man. I mean, the images.
It is tough to look at people
children
in Palestine, these kids, and not feel for what they're going through. If you do, you're just like, that's not humane. We are better than that. That being said, Israel's got a right to defend themselves.
Yep.
But they're past that now. It's punishment. And you're not going to make it better anytime soon by doing what you're doing. Even the other day, you're out there and you're like, well, we didn't shoot at any of these people. Really? Because all the cameras are showing you guys shooting at people. And you're shooting at our people, Americans. So come on now. You can have a conversation about how do we fix this. But killing innocent people that want to see their loved ones returned home or support the people who want to see their loved ones turn home in Boulder, Colorado, isn't going to further your cause. It isn't. Thank God she's going there. Greta Thunberg. Where do I have to glue myself for this? What piece of art do I have to glue myself to?
You have to climb a billboard and glue yourself to the billboard.
Oh, good God. It's just, this guy this week, because, there's videos everywhere. And this guy this weekend, just looking at the stuff he was trying to do. And thank God because the people that he attacked, the average, it was 53, I think, or 55 to 83 were the ages.
52 to 88.
Yeah, so we're not talking about youngsters who are out there and this, we're talking about a bunch of older people. Oh, they're Zionists. They hate me. Well, they hate you now because you lit them on fire. Can you think of a worse way to go? I was watching a show this weekend, and the Mohawk tribe, also a haircut. But what they used to do is they would burn you by your feet slowly. So the pain would be so excruciating, it would take days for you to die. And it would hurt and it'd be horrific, but it wouldn't kill you or send you into shock immediately. And that was before this. And I kept thinking, can you think of something any more heinous than you trying to flamethrow a grandmother of 85 who wants to see her great nephew come home? No. Doesn't help your case. It doesn't. 14 Molotov cocktails found in his car. 14. Luckily, he was a bit of an idiot by the sounds of it. And a chicken, because he didn't go down, you know? And now they got him in custody, and he's going to be here forever. So we got to take care of him forever. So there's that. Just diabolical. Just scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. What about China?
Don't trust China.
I'm not going to. Thank you very much. I just wanted to be reminded of that, if you guys didn't know. China's still out there. Meanwhile, locally,
crews are expected to be out here today finishing what the city started months ago, and that is to clear out Old Tin City here. Now, the goal next is to move people into safer options like those temporary pod shelters. And to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson here, the city actually purchased more than 100 of these portable pods during the pandemic intended for quarantine use, but now they're being repurposed as temporary shelters for people who can't or won't go into group settings.
By the way, I liked what she said. Can't. Why can't you go into a group setting or won't? You don't go into a group setting because you can't, because you're mentally disturbed and you scare people, or you won't because you're on drugs and there's rules. There's rules. And now there's a shadow police force, apparently, that are, what do we call them? Tourist cops, which are out there protecting tourist dollars, because nobody wants that. All you have to do is look at San Francisco. They're trying in every way, shape, or form to make it not smell like urine, to not be the laughing stock of the planet, where it's like, hey, it used to be the most beautiful city on the planet. Now there's maps of poop, human fecal matter. You don't go there because of poop. You don't. Continue.
The pallet pods are small, which are just about 64 to 100 square feet, but they offer lockable doors, heat, air conditioning, and privacy. But getting these shelters to be put into use have been a long time coming.
We have worked with local codes in our fire department. We have worked with state officials to make sure that these could be used. Just this week, we issued an RFP. We are very excited to get these in the hands of local providers so that they can more effectively serve our homeless residents.
Now, here's the thing. Who would be our local providers? Well, they don't really have any. So if you got a nonprofit, you want to get involved in this.
The city has put out a request for proposal asking nonprofits to step in and manage these pod villages. Organizations would be responsible for infrastructure, support services, and tracking who uses them. It's part of a shift towards what the mayor calls a more human-centered solution to homelessness. Now, on top of these pods, the city is also looking to put these residents in temporary or even permanent housing. Now, this morning, it's unsure exactly what is expected to happen out here at Old Tin City, but this is something that we will monitor closely.
Is there a new tent city? Where's that at? This is old tent city. It's like New Mexico, old Mexico. The pod, this is we're not dealing with the problem as adults. And caring and having an empathetic kind of feel towards these people, okay, that's understandable. It's a human being. I can do that. But I also recognize drugs and mental illness are huge. Somebody said earlier, we talked a bit about this, what about old people that are priced out? That's understandable. But old people, for the most part, they're in a shelter. And we need to do better. But this isn't what we're talking about when we talk about these people living out there. They've chosen this bizarre world, whether it's drugs or alcohol or both or mental illness, to live in this way. That is, hey, Matt, yours is right here. the fact is we're not fixing this through empathy. You've got to go tough love. And you got to, do we build mental institutions again? I don't know what you do, but if you think that sticking them in a pod is going to work, they're going to be like, can you cook meth in here? I can lock my door. Right, Ken? Yeah. I can lock the door.
Nobody will know. They can't smell it outside these four walls.
No. And what do you think's going to go on in there?
Yeah.
So, 100 pods, that's all we have. That's for isolation during the pandemic. 100 pods. I think there's more than 100 people out there. I'm going to go out and say that.
Pretty much, yeah. That would be a good bet.
And it's just, we don't deal with it. I mean, if you've ever been around anybody who's on drugs, eventually you got to take the route of, hey, you know what? Tough love. Where we now have to deal with you in a different way. And nobody wants to. And part of and this is what I've talked about for years, no matter where I've been, and I've seen this, is you have to be honest about what the problem is. They always want to make it like everybody's priced out of the market. Like the reason the guy is on the street swaying back and forth in front of, Kid Rock's place is because he missed a paycheck. It's not. It's not. That guy is there and he's a mess because of drugs, alcohol, and or mental illness. And eventually it's all of the things. And if you're a business, if you're a homeowner, the last thing you want is that on your street or in front of your office. You don't, but where do we put him? Well, we better figure something out, and we got to get honest. Pods aren't the answer. Hell, you might as well give him Tide Pods. Also not the answer. We'll see what happens here with this. In immigration, there's going to be a lot of apartments open up because of illegal immigration's been the crackdown here. Oh, my Lord. I got a good story about that. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. Somebody just sent me this long thing about Israel and the embassy there. Maybe we'll talk a bit about that. We've got some fun stuff coming up in a little bit. It's science, guys. I take science mostly serious, but not this science. This science is just fun, wacky science. We'll talk a bit about that. A lot of other good stuff that we're going to talk about while we try to squeeze it all in. I see Bell and them are talking about the saltwater taffy. Chris brought us saltwater taffy on his vacation. He went and got a saltwater taffy. Have you ever had saltwater taffy? It's been a long time for me. So maybe we'll have some saltwater taffy a little bit later. Talk a bit about that. Bunch of other good stuff. Russia got a little bit of ass handed to them over the weekend. We're going to talk about that. Some immigration stuff to talk about as well. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Remember, we're on Twitch, X, YouTube, and Facebook. So check out all of our social media across the way. On top of that, you can reach out to me at Chad Benson Show on X as well. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital wants to give you a second opinion when it comes to your retirement. And it's simple, too. It's not going to cost you anything, but a little bit of time. So there was a joke about DOR, Department of Retirement Efficiency. Wouldn't you like to know how efficient your retirement is? What's going on in there? Are you risking too much? Are you not really moving the needle when it comes to expanding and growing your money, whether it's your investments or retirements, right? Maybe you're a little bit younger and you're too conservative. You don't know it. Maybe you're a little bit older and you're exposed in areas. That's why Bulwark wants to talk to you. Call them today. Get a second opinion for free. 866-779-RISK. 866-779-RISK. They're going to show you all kinds of things like the hidden risk you have. Also, all the costs that are out there that maybe you just don't even know about in your account. So get that second opinion. It's a fresh set of eyeballs checking things out. Doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of time. You can check out everything they do at knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com. investmentadvisor.com to sign up today. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25217. The Wellness Institute of Nashville wants to talk to you about getting your back, as I like to say. You go to painisbad.com. Get yourself over there, right? If you got a bad back, right now they got the big 47 going on. It's 47% off for the entire year. And this is for non-surgical spinal decompression, okay? So you go on in there and talk to Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley. They've got so much experience. And we're talking about studying all over the world. And they're going to build you a plan that's right for your back. Because once your back starts going sideways and you start playing that game where you're trying to fix it with surgery, next thing you know, it's, let them get your back in a smart way through technology and the years of experience they have. They're incredible. You go in for a consultation, get an exam, x-rays are included. If you have or you need, bring your MRI, let them take a look at it. They're going to review it, then build you out a game plan that works for you. Through technology and their brilliance, it's incredible. It is the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them today. Get your back. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Check them out online at painisbad.com.
We've got a few more details about that shooting in Colombia over the weekend that left 2 people dead and another person injured, and an update on the investigation of that firebombing on a pro-Israel march in Boulder, Colorado. That's at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Over the weekend, Russia got kicked in the grundle in a major way. You guys didn't see. These little thing called drones destroyed a good portion of their stuff. And it was amazing.
So these were like kamikaze drones, right? They were meant to blow up and, okay.
Yeah. I think some of them shot stuff, but then at the end it was like, all right, we're done. So you may have fallen in love with your drone, but you knew your drone was on borrowed time. And away it went. And it destroyed as much as 30% of their air might. And this is costing Russia billions of dollars. This is a slap to the Puder's face. Slap face right there. Slap that face right there, Mr. Puder. And it hit their big bombers. And if you know anything about military stuff, it's funny, my buddy, Mike Lyons, talking about this, and he's always said this. And he worked he was a retired major general. He was in NATO, ran the bombs, the big bombs. That was his jam on top of everything else being in the U.S. military. He would say, number one thing we do, we own the air. If you own the air, it's over. Everything else is, you're done. You're done. And Russia found out how $500 drones can take you out. $500 drones. Think about that. Like that. They buy their stuff on Amazon. You think I'm kidding? They will go get parts on Amazon to build this stuff up. And then they destroyed a ton of this stuff. It was fascinating to watch because it's everywhere. Even The drones, some of them had GoPros attached to them, which is crazy. And again, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing for the Pooter and them. And the Pooter, by the way, they're no closer at this moment in getting a deal done, which is what we want. But I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I do believe by the end of summer they'll have something. But how good will it be? Because he's always going to come up with something if he wants to push this. He's always going to come up with something. And, Ken's shaking his head. Yeah, he is. I mean, he is. This is what he's looking for.
This guy's a murderer.
That's what he is. He's a murderer. Straight up murderer. And he will find any way, shape, or form to do something if it thinks it benefits him or protects him. But this was not a good look for them, and it is costing them a ton of money that they don't have. Now, they've weathered the storm and have done okay through what would be a tough time for a lot of nations because they have a lot of natural resources, and there's still a bunch of scumbags out there willing to work with them. And even some allies of ours who don't want to get involved in any of this stuff, so they're willing to do some stuff. The question is, what do we do? Do we go hard at them and say, look, if you're going to work with them, I don't care what you do, if you're going to do anything with them, sorry, we're going to hit you hard. Because you got to start putting it into a position where it's put up or shut up time if we're serious. And if the Pooter won't move from that, then you have to go to the second thing is we're going to just supply them with everything they need. Those little drones, those $500 drones, yeah, we're going to give them $5 million drones. Let them fly all over the place and reap on you guys. And somebody said earlier, well, that he'll turn to a nuclear weapon. No, he won't, because he knows the mutual, ensured destruction would come. And secondly, China's not going to allow that to happen. China's not. And why should we allow somebody, right? Like, I don't know if you're aware of this. We have, and by us, I mean NATO and everything. We have nuclear weapons, and we have a military that's badass. Allowing him to dictate the terms of everything at this point in time is stupid. It is. Maybe we say, hey, bro, no. No, you're not. They're supposed to meet in Turkey tomorrow.
Yeah, they met today.
Oh, today?
Yeah, for less than an hour.
And nobody's there, right? Like,
no, it's delegations.
You got to get the Pooter there. And you got to get and Zelensky's already gone there. He's waiting.
Zelensky, the Pooter, and Trump.
And just get it done. But, Trump recognizes, too. He hears the noise that everybody thinks, Pooter thinks you're a chump. And he recognizes that. He's not going to play that game for forever. At least I hope not. But I don't think he will.
I'm telling you, man, this might have been a wake-up call.
Yeah.
For Putin, because, if you remember, and we've talked about this, whenever they first invaded Ukraine, they had that they were bogged down, and had NATO been involved, we'd have decimated.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If they got into a situation where they went too far and then accidentally went into Poland, and Poland had a presidential election and they went with the super nationalist. If they did, Poland would march to Moscow and thump all over. They're waiting. Ken's right. Their army and military it's humans, lots of them. It's not a military force. It isn't. The Spetsnaz and all that stuff, those guys weren't risked in any of this. They're far away from the action, but there's not enough of them to make it up. So we'll see what takes place. Coming up, we're going to do some science fun, guys. Love science. I do, but I like science fun as much as just regular old science. We're going to talk about how many steps you need, what's the worst breeds of dogs, according to science, to get, and the numbers and the data that back it up. Yeah, bunch of stuff, kids. That's what we do here. We don't give you crappy old 24/7 politics. We talk real stuff that matters. Jeff Benson Show, Super Talk, 99.7.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in Middle Tennessee, authorities releasing the name of a man connected to the shooting in Columbia that left 2 people dead and another person injured over the weekend. News 2 says the Murray County DA tells them Byron Childers is being held without bond on 2 counts of first-degree murder, several other charges. They say that the suspect tried to carjack someone after the shootings. No additional details, including what led to the shooting, have been released. Police are asking anyone with information to reach out to their investigations division as they continue to build this case. Right now in Colorado, in addition to facing attempted murder charges in state court, the man accused of firebombing a pro-Israel march in Boulder is now accused of committing a federal hate crime. Here's ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
An FBI complaint says after his arrest, Mohammed Solomon told authorities he spent more than a year planning the attack and that he researched Molotov cocktails on YouTube. The complaint says he stated that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. The complaint adds, quote, Solomon stated he would do it, conduct an attack again. He now faces a federal hate crimes count, causing injuries because of the victim's race, religion, or national origin.
And the Department of Homeland Security says Solomon is in the U.S. illegally. His B-2 visa, typically a tourism visa, expired in February of 2023. And in Boston, federal immigration authorities say they've arrested about 1,500 undocumented immigrants all over Massachusetts in a widespread crackdown they're calling Operation Patriot. Authorities claim the majority of those arrested have criminal records ranging from sex offenses to drug trafficking. But one of the people arrested was an 18-year-old high school student with no criminal record who was on his way to volleyball practice, whom immigration authorities admit is not a danger to the public. But acting field director for ICE there, Patricia Hyde, indicates this could have been avoided.
When jurisdictions don't cooperate with ICE and we don't arrest people custodial in custodial arrests, then we must go out into the community, and when we go out into the community and we find others who are unlawfully here, we are going to arrest them.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
We could reach 90 degrees for the first time of the year come tomorrow through Thursday. Our temperatures will stay hot for the rest of the week with rain chances increasing for the end of the week and into the weekend. 4 seconds. Be prepared for off and on showers and storms through CMA Fest.
Oh, my. Going to get hot out there. That's why you need Busy Bee, right? June is here. Time to get your system serviced the best way with the Busy Bee in the Busy Bee way. So how does a trip to the beach sound? Pretty good? Purchase new AC unit in July and be entered in to win a free 3-day beach getaway. You buy the unit, we'll take care of the vacation, including gas, 2 meals per day, and lodging. The winner will be announced on Facebook Live. Only clients who purchase a new AC unit in June are eligible to enter. Only one winner. Restrictions apply. And there's tons of great specials going on right now in June. How about those air ducts? Let's get them clean, right? You're giving away a free package upgrade. You buy the middle package. They give you the upgraded for free. That's the deluxe package. How about $500 off any select tankless or upright water heaters? 15% off home drain pipe, 99% off drain video inspection, or $79 off water heater flush. Remember, you now get 2 years for the price of one when it comes to the Beehive Club. What are you waiting for? Join now. $99 gets you this year and next. Satisfaction guaranteed. That's from our friends at Busy Bee. Call them right now. 775-7833, 775-7833, or visit them online at busybhvz.com.
they've got a 10% heroes discount. Military, veterans, first responders, and emergency medical professionals all get a 10% discount. Renstall just opened up, and yes, they are accepting appointments. 615-777-7100. 615-777-7100. iTrustMyMechanic.com. Check them out. iTrustMyMechanic.com.
Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 369, all this awesome stuff. If you're like me, I love my dogs. I want them healthy. I want them happy. I want them living their best lives. And that's what Rough Greens does. Millions of dogs and people have used Rough Greens to make sure that the dogs are healthy and happy. Because a healthy, happy dog saves the owner lots of dollar bills, Joe. And that's what matters, because not only are they healthy, saving you a little bit of money. So why not try Rough Greens? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to roughgreens.com/Chad, and they're going to send you out a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. It's not going to cost you. It's a $20 value, right? So use my code, Chad, and just try it. 1 scoop a day. Don't change anything with your dog's food. Don't have to cook them anything special. You watch what happens. Aches and their pains and joints are going to subside. You're going to have more energy. Their heart health and immunity is going to improve, just to name a few things. Try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today. Roughgreens.com/Chad. Use my code Chad. $20 value. You cover the cost of shipping. You get it free. Roughgreens.com/Chad. Use code Chad. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom.
That's some scientific rock and roll right there.
Guys, we like science here because we're very serious about stuff. Been serious for a long time. So who's ready for some science?
Science. She blinded me with science.
Now it's time to have fun with science. Right here on the Chad Benson Show.
I like science.
So does that librarian.
I know, she did. She was naughty.
She loved science.
Did you ever... you've never seen more naughty librarians in all your life.
That video right there, man.
Oh. Woo! And I can't find anything. So, science. Guess what, guys? Who's a night owl? Anybody here a night owl?
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, on occasion, but not with any regularity.
2 serious issues if you're a night owl, according to a major study. Early onset dementia.
Oh.
And that is an Alzheimer's. Why? They say if you stay up, and this is, it's really interesting, the fog in your brain, essentially, because if you're not, you stay up late, you wake up early, you do it once or twice when you're younger, but you start to miss your words. That fog starts to become, greater. Maybe you start out the morning okay, and then by noon it starts to go sideways. Well, they're pointing out that there's some serious issues here, and this was a decade-long study of about 25,000 people, and talking about the cognitive decline in these people. And also that this tends to happen, and this is crazy, education. So if you're highly educated and you're a night owl, it was worse than if you're a blue-collar person. So there's that, guys. Don't know why that is. Also, in this study, they also did sleep quality and smoking. Smoking's bad for you. That's all we need to tell you.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know.
It's not good.
And we shouldn't even have to tell you at this point.
But we have to remind everybody that it is bad for you. We're talking science on the Chad Benson Show. The worst dog breeds. Are you ready for them?
Yes. Let's hear them.
When it counted.
Chihuahuas.
Absolutely. All right. This is based on analysis from 2021 to 2024 about incidents, attacks, even fatalities. Labrador Retrievers, number 10. There was 136 incidents with them.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Now, little dogs, there's probably a lot of incidents, but nobody counts. Like the wiener dog. Like, what's Fritz going to do?
Yeah, a little dog it may attack you, but it can't kill you.
Although, you know what's funny? So I was telling Belle, because we were going over injuries the other day. And Belle's like, one time I twisted my finger and it would really, really hurt. And I was like, I showed him where a pug dog.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
So when
Flayed you open.
Yeah. So I was younger, obviously, because I was just younger when I started talking about this. So, but I think I was like 31, 32. This girl I was dating, she got a pug dog, and the thing was stupid, right? It was the dumbest dog I'd ever in my life. Just never was just special. It had got caught underneath something, and my buddy comes because there was a wall that separated our office because we turned these apartments into our office, and her house next door. And my buddy Lars comes. He's like, "Mate, something's going on with your dog." So I go over there, and it had wedged himself up in something. Okay, Ken. So imagine this: it's got that giant head and that tiny body.
Yeah.
Well, it was stuck. I couldn't move this thing, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna have to pull this dog out because it's just freaking out. I put my hand in there, and my hand got up in his mouth on accident, and I pulled it out. When I did, it tore my finger wide open, and everything came out of it. Like all the nerves, and it was the fat and everything. That was a pug dog. So, but little dogs, and you know what? So I go, and I have to have a tetanus shot. I have to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
The animal control comes over to the house and goes, I heard you got bit. I'm like, are you guys being serious right now? I'm like, did you get some? I said, no. I told them what happened. Like, oh. And they're like, well, is the dog dangerous? And I brought it out. I'm like, does Satchmo look dangerous to you? They're like, no. I said, okay, we're going to be fine. It wasn't his fault. He was stuck. He's not very bright.
I put my finger in his mouth and paid the price.
I did. Man, those things were razor sharp. All right, we're moving on. Mastiff. 3 fatalities in that time, Fran. 19 incidents. These are total reported. Doberman Pinscher.
Oh, yeah.
So 28 incidents, 0 fatalities. Is it Cane Corso or Cane Corso?
Cane Corso.
Cane Corso. Those things are badass, though.
Yeah, they are.
30 incidents, 4 fatalities. Australian cattle dog.
I get a question. Are they giving you any kind of an idea of how many total number of the breed exist versus the incidents?
No, they're just talking about the amount of bites that were reported incidents, right? So,
okay, I see what you're saying.
These are reported incidents. So, a German Shepherd, 252 bites, 2 fatalities. The danger score is 48.8. Danger. Rottweiler, 51 total incidents, 7 fatalities. Boxer, I was surprised.
A boxer?
Yeah, 39 total incidents that were reported. There was 1 fatality, obviously a child probably.
Gotta be.
Shepherd, just shepherd dogs themselves, not a German shepherd. 227 incidents, 2 fatalities. What do you think number 1 was? Anybody got a guess?
The American Pit Bull.
The Pit Bull. Almost 600 total incidents that were reported to police and stuff like that. 61 fatalities. Severe bite rate was 22%, and the danger score is 90.
And you know what? I mean, this is just me personally. I don't blame the breed.
No, I don't. It's people who get them.
There are morons out there who get these dogs, and they don't know how to take care of them.
No. I was in Georgia. I was in Atlanta visiting, and this girl's dog had died, and she goes, it was like the worst thing that ever happened to her. She says, I was one of those people. So she wanted to go look at dogs. I went out. I said, I'll go with you. We go to one of the dog places, the ASPCA things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was free shot day. There were 100 pit bulls there. And half of them, the guys had the big harnesses on them. And they looked like they weren't there because they were sweet puppy dogs.
Right.
Because they're bred to be, again, I blame bad ownership.
Yeah.
But I don't blame the dog itself. That's the thing.
Yeah, you've got to take some responsibility for some of these breeds, man. I mean, especially German Shepherds. I'll never forget. I mean, this was years ago. My wife and I had some mutual friends, and for whatever reason, this guy decided to bring 2 German Shepherd puppies home for their little bitty kids. Well, those 2 German Shepherd puppies grew up to be about 150 pounds apiece and started killing neighborhood dogs.
Yeah.
Because you don't just stick a German Shepherd off in the backyard and water and feed him and just think he's going to be okay. He's going to get out.
And here's the thing. You train a German Shepherd, all the things you want it to be, it will be.
Yep.
But if you don't and you leave it to its own, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how bad these things are. And, we sit here, we talk about sharks, right? Like, shark. These dogs, I mean, some of these dogs are 100, 150 pounds, and there's a reason that bears run from them.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they'll look right at a big cat and say, let's do this. The cat usually kicks his ass, but they give as good as they get. Yeah. So imagine that if you got a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old. Yeah. So, but you're right about some of the people, and German Shepherds are so damn smart.
They are.
They are. I mean, it's like having a zebra. So, a pit bull equals moron magnet. I've known some great pit bulls, but I've known some, man, I tell you what, this is a great story. It was one of those, when I was working in Palm Springs, and it's one of those back to school weekends where everybody's coming, like the kids to get their backpacks, the kids that don't have a lot of money. It's not the nicest neighborhood. It's always not a nice neighborhood when you're like, there's a lot of pit bulls roaming here.
Roaming.
It's 8:30 in the morning, and I need to get to that gym, and between me and the gym are 4 pit bulls that chased me on top of the car. Called my boss. I'm like, I don't think I can give away these backpacks. They're like, why? I said, how about you have the kids come out here, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But, yeah, it is a moron magnet because it's especially certain parts of the city, there are people that want these dogs. Sometimes, yes, I could see how, if you're in an area that's not great, you want some protection, okay? Sure, but a lot of times, it is a status.
Exactly.
It goes with having the gun and the beef and the whole 9 yards, and you're walking around with the big chains. And that's why you went with a wiener dog, man. You don't have to,
I want a little fat wiener dog.
That's right. My dogs, Great Danes are awesome. There's not on the list, by the way. Jack Russell, rip your freaking face off. It will.
If you get in his face.
If you get in his face. Belgian Malinois, I go with that. It's the same thing as a German Shepherd, kind of, sort of. Nate from Busy Bee. We see you with your dogs. But those, damn, man, the pit bull, it's...
I had a buddy who had a 90-pound pit bull. Beautiful dog. And he was just the biggest puppy.
Yeah.
I mean, that dog was the sweetest dog, one of the sweetest dogs I've ever known. But to look at him, I mean, he was home protection just to look at.
Yeah.
You didn't want to mess with him. But, man, I mean, he just... Big old puppy.
And I've loved like when I'm on TikTok or Reels or something, and you'll see those dogs that are like standing behind the kids.
Yeah.
And that one with another dog was coming at the kid, and another big dog came and just took him out. I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. Like, that's great. But, we're not talking about those. We're talking about the ones that were like, hey, let me help you eat our friend. As we're talking about. That was Little Science with Chad, kids, as we broke down the numbers for you because we do number stuff. Coming up, Matt Murphy. Now, Matt's saltwater taffy's in there. I saw him in there with you, Bell. Did he think he didn't get any?
No, I had to explain to him that it was from Chris Hand and that Chris had brought everybody some back from vacation.
Ah, there you go. See, so he's got his in here. We'll talk to him straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Hello, everybody. It is the Chad Benson Show. So wrap it up. Matt, that's your saltwater taffy from.
That's saltwater taffy.
It is. That's what Chris brought you.
I'm deathly allergic to saltwater taffy.
Why?
I am. Get that out of here.
You're not.
You know, here's my question about saltwater taffy.
What is that Ken Weaver?
It is Weave Ken.
Oh my gosh!
It's Weave Kenver.
Hey Chad, hold on a second. Hey Ken, what's going
The
on?
weather wizard is back.
I'll talk to you in a minute. I love you, kid. Okay.
Saltwater taffy. You're allergic to something.
No, I'm not really allergic to saltwater taffy, although I like to, when people present things, I like to say I'm deathly allergic to that, and just to get the look on their face. But here's my question. So, I mean, I forgive this salt, because apparently this saltwater taffy is from the Outer Banks.
Yes.
North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sure. But like Gatlinburg, you been to Gatlinburg? Been around Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. You can't throw a rock and not hit saltwater taffy. And I want to know what the hell Gatlinburg, Sevierville, and Pigeon Forge has to do with saltwater taffy. They're not anywhere near an ocean.
Somebody must have accidentally bought a whole crate of them and said, "We got to sell these things."
Like, holy crap, they buy it.
So let's tell them hillbillies made them.
Oh, hillbilly taffy.
Hillbilly
You know,
taffy.
Matt, they don't use seawater in that. They use salted fresh water.
Oh, is that the way that works? Look at that.
You know, this could be a nugget of knowledge from Bell that's 100% true, or he could be completely full of crap. You never know. You never know.
I'm going to go with B.
I'm going to go with B, too. Ken, where are you going? Got to make a decision.
You going A or B?
I'm going with B.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I couldn't get any love.
No. But that sounded good, right? Anybody else would have been like, that might be true.
Anybody else in the world.
Bell
like,
said it
wow.
like, that's a lie.
Let's see what you're doing. This product contains soy. Let's see what's in this thing.
No. No wonder Chris said everybody gave him weird looks.
Let's see what's in this thing. Ingredients. What do you think the first ingredient of saltwater taffy is?
Saltwater?
It's corn syrup.
Corn syrup.
Oh, how about this? You know what the second ingredient is?
What?
After corn syrup?
What?
Sugar.
Oh, look at that. That's good. By the way, it's only 15 calories per serving.
That's a lie.
What's it say on there?
It says 15 calories per serving. It's just, how big is the serving? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
One piece is a serving.
So,
Okay.
there we go.
Well,
We got a little saltwater taffy.
Thank you. Well, that's good.
Your dentist loves them.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris was back.
I appreciate the
Very
saltwater
excited.
taffy. Did you get some saltwater taffy?
I did.
Oh,
I
good
did.
for
The
you.
kids are all excited.
Are they?
Yeah.
You want to trade? Do a little trade
For saltwater
Deal.
taffy for saltwater taffy?
or anything else you got for saltwater taffy? What do you got? What do you got in your pockets right now?
Nothing. It's yours. This is what I was looking for.
Exactly.
I was like, woof, only you give me
I'm
nothing.
kidding. It's very sweet of a hand to think of us. By the way, if and when I go on vacation for any length of time and I come back, y'all are getting nothing.
Are you bringing us back part of your shoulder?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to ask the guy on the shoulder thing. 3 weeks out, baby. 3 weeks till shoulder surgery. And I'm going to ask the guy if I can keep the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, right?
Put it on a chain.
I mean,
that'd be nice. Like puka shells.
They're cutting the ball off.
Yeah.
Of my shoulder, he should say. And why should I grew it? I want my goat's beard.
That's right.
I grew it. I want it.
I like it.
My mother did that. It's a true story. My mother in 1978, she had brain surgery in Savannah, Georgia, and it was a golf ball sized tumor. And she said, I grew it. I want it. And they gave it to her. It was in our cabinet. It was in a medical jar in formaldehyde with tape. I took it to school in the 6th grade.
There you go. Look at that.
Took my mama's brain to school. My mama's brain.
Mama's brain coming up. It's Matt's brain. He's got all kinds of good stuff. What are you talking about today?
I don't know.
All right. Sounds like fun. It's kind of like the way we went, too. We talk science. We talk all kinds of wacky stuff. Why? Because that's what we do here. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow.